Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Governor. How are you?
Good.
Moving forward, following Donald Trump's conviction, what is your role in the Trump campaign going to look like? Do you plan to travel with him? Do you plan to, help him raise any money?
So I think it's been reported we've been active in raising money. I think it's important, and we're going to continue to do that. I don't think that in this state there's going to be much of a campaign because we're now a solid Republican state. We weren't when I became governor, but now we are. And so I don't think that that the statewide races are competitive at all. I think that that's just the reality of the situation, and that's good. We're proud of what we've done. When I became governor, I think there were 300,000 more registered Democrats than Republicans in Florida, and we had never in the history of Florida ever had more registered Republicans than Democrats. Today, 5.5 years later, we have 930,000 more registered Republicans than Democrats. Nobody can match that. And so that's just the reality that we see in terms of politics. I think people were just so used to Florida being such a close state because it was for many decades. 2022 kind of blew that out of the water, and so now we're in a different spot politically. But I do think just given our level of support we've been able to enjoy, we've got an ability to help in that regard. Now, I will say this, this election, not in Florida, I think has been beneficial for Republicans, but you have had more internal migration in this country from 2020 to 2024 than in most four-year stretches in our history, and maybe more than any stretch. And so how many Republicans, we have all these new people, how many of them came from Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, some of these key states? And I don't know the answer to that, but I think that you're likely to see some of the states maybe behave a little bit different than 4 years ago, because I think the electorates have changed pretty significantly, respectively, for a 4-year period. It's usually very stable, but I just think that, and you had Fauci up there with that circus yesterday, but I mean, his policies really became ingrained in some of these blue states, and it just destroyed the quality of life there, so people fled. They ran to Florida, they ran to Tennessee, Texas, all these other places, and that's been something that's been really significant. It's not just a little blip. It's not just a little on the edges. I mean, I do think you've seen serious change. So stay tuned on how that is going to shake out. But it's interesting because I can tell you this state will behave differently in 24 compared to it did in 2016 and 2020 because the state's more Republican now. Yep.